Okay, on to question 8. We're still looking at for loops, which is part 4 of our beginning Python program. This is going to look a little bit similar to what we've done before, but it's got a new trick to it that you wouldn't have seen yet. Write a program to calculate the average of a cricket player's scores. The program should input scores, add them up, and count how many there are. When a score of 1,000 is entered, don't include this in the scores. The program will stop and print out a statement like there were so many scores entered, the total number of runs is giving the average score of something else. Cool. Hopefully some things click in your mind as you see that and you go, oh, statement like that, that's a good place to use dot format. Yeah, this is a really good place to use a for loop. And how are we going to deal with when a score of 1,000 is entered? Don't include this in the scores. Well, that's going to need a conditional. What do we do with a conditional? If. So we need an if statement. Right. Before we do any of that, what we need is a total, because we're summing things together, and that's going to equal 0. We need a count, how many things there are, right? And that's also going to equal 0. And so we go for, this is actually a much better situation for a while loop, but that's okay. We will use a for loop to do it. For I in range, for I in range 1,000, and we're going to say if. We need num equals an integer input. What is, in quotation marks, what is the score to be added? This is why we need designers, because programmers are not always the best at coming up with things to tell the user. Oh, it sounds like a robot, doesn't it? Okay. First thing, we need to deal with that if it's 1,000 thing, because that's a clue to our program to not execute stuff below. Okay, so if num double equals, if num equals 1,000, what are we going to do? We're going to do something that you haven't seen before, and we're going to break. We're going to break out of that for loop. We're going to stop that for loop immediately. When Python sees the word break, it looks for a loop that it's in, and it breaks out of that. It stops looping. Cool. If it's not 1,000, then what do we need to do? We need to count needs to go up by 1 because we're adding one more thing, and total needs to go up by num. Nice. Once we've done all of that, now we need to go and print our result. Our result is going to be a big string, which is going to say there were something scores added, entered, whichever. The total number of runs is something else. Oh my goodness, typos abound. Total number of funds. It's a lot of funds. Giving an average of that. Great. And now, outside that quotation mark, dot format what? there were count, number of scores added. The total number of runs is total, giving an average of, we don't have that yet. We can do that in the dot format. Oh my goodness, no, I've been standing in front of it the whole time. There were that many scores added. The total number of runs is total, giving an average of. We could do the maths here. I don't want to do the maths here because this is starting to get very complicated. I want to make another variable and call it average. I'm going to do that up here, right before that print statement. And average is going to equal total divided by count. Hopefully you can still see that. And down here, I'm going to put average. Nice. What is the score to be added? 5. What is the score to be added? 34. What is it? 6. Somebody got a century. Fantastic. What is the score to be added? 1,000. There were 4 scores added, which is right, because we didn't include that last score there. The 1,000 is not included. So it was 3, 34, 6, 100. There were 4 scores added. The total number of runs is 145, giving an average of 36.25. Nice. I just want to check something because I think something might go a little bit awry. What is the score to be added? 10. Was that 10 or was that 1? What is the score to be added? Let's say 0. What is the score to be added? 0. There we go. There were 3 scores added. The total number of runs is 10, giving the average of 3.333335. Oh god, that's horrible. That's horrible to look at. Let's use our round function and just put that in there. What does round do? It takes a number. I've just put that around what we're giving average, right? So average is now going to equal total divided by count, but rounded to 2 decimal places, which is going to make it much nicer for the user. I might leave that there. Excellent. That's question 8 done. One more, and then we have finished looking at for loops for the moment. I personally do not like how this looks. If you have a better solution, please tell me. I would have much preferred a while loop here as opposed to a for loop because you can't have more than 1,000. In fact, you can't have more than, 10 cricket scores, is it? So maybe I could have brought that range down. Maybe that's why that's in there. But while loops are better for the situation. We'll look at those in the next little part after we've done question 9.